I am authorized by the Homeowners Association Board to inform you that these decorations must be removed by Friday.
Counsel, I find no cause for action.
The siren lights hit my bedroom before my alarm did. Blue and red flashed through the blinds, turning my ceiling into a cheap horror movie. I opened the front door and cold air slapped my face. It smelled like wet asphalt and the burnt coffee in the officer's travel mug. He held a clipboard and a bright orange paper that snapped in the wind. HOA enforcement notice, he said, like it was nothing. Behind him, our HOA president Karen stood in fuzzy slippers, arms crossed, staring at my porch as if it had cursed her. 2 wooden pumpkins. 1 small wreath. A warm string of lights around the railing. That was it. At 5:12 a.m. on a Tuesday, I was being threatened with daily fines and possible legal escalation because my front steps looked slightly too happy. By lunch I had read the notice so many times the words blurred. Violation of porch uniformity standards. Threat of lien. Threat of foreclosure. Over decor that had been up 3 days. I thought about the old slips hidden in my desk drawer, $10 for wind chimes, $25 for a patterned doormat, $50 for a potted fern they called excessive vegetation. This wasn't new. This was a habit. That's when the sentence formed in my head like a movie title, HOA fined my porch decor since 2009, too bad I am the judge. For 15 years they had picked at me, a few dollars at a time, acting like their clipboard was the Constitution. They still thought I was just quiet, boring me. They had no idea what I did in a black robe from 9:00 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. I tried the nice route anyway. The HOA office smelled like fake citrus and hot printer ink. 3 board members sat behind folding tables, laptops open like shields. Karen sat in the middle, queen of the folding chairs. I calmly slid photos of my porch across the table and opened their own rulebook. I pointed at the house across the street with 12 plastic flamingos that had never seen a violation notice. Karen tapped her pen and said my decor was disruptive and not in harmony with community values. The others stared at their screens, pretending to read. My appeal was denied in under 4 minutes. Walking out, I passed 2 neighbors at the mailboxes. They froze mid-conversation, went silent, and stared at the floor until I walked by. In that hallway, fear felt thicker than the air freshener. On the drive home, my anger cooled into something sharp. They wanted rules? Fine. We would use real ones. At my kitchen table, I cleared a space and started a quiet war. I lined up photos, emails, and call logs in a binder. 17 complaints, petty fines from $10 to $200, added up to more than $3,400 since I moved in. I highlighted the part of state law that said an HOA must give fair notice and a real hearing before any lien. Then I drafted a written dispute, polite and very, very specific. Near the end I slipped in one simple fact: I also happen to be a district court judge in the next county and I am very familiar with what a legal process is supposed to look like. I promised myself I would stay inside the system. I just planned to use every inch of it. Karen did not back off. She escalated. Timeline item 1 April 5 at 4:27 a.m. false trespass call. She told police I had strangers living in my garage. Next came April 18 at 9:00 p.m., a noise complaint for a TV at normal volume. On May 3, 2024, another report about my offensive porch sign that just said "Welcome, friends." I filed public records requests for every call she'd made on our street and every warning letter the HOA had sent. A week later, at the clerk's counter, I watched her slide a thick folder toward me. The file landed with 63 pages. I flipped through and saw the same handful of homes hit again and again. Patterns of false reports can be prosecuted. I wrote that in my notes and underlined it twice. I wasn't trying to get her jailed. I just wanted someone with a badge and a title to see what she was doing. After that folder hit the counter, my plan shifted from my porch to the whole block. I invited a few neighbors over for coffee. We spread their orange notices on my table and filed one complaint with the HOA ombudsman, attaching every receipt, warning, and police log. I also wrote a recall petition the way the bylaws allowed. At the emergency meeting Karen called about problem residents, the ombudsman's investigator, the city inspector, and a local reporter slipped into the back row. Phones went up as he laid my binder on the table and calmly explained the pattern. People gasped, then laughed, while Karen's face went the color of my orange violation notice. 2 weeks later, the ombudsman erased years of illegal fines and ordered refunds, and the police chief warned that more false reports would count as crimes. At the recall vote, she lost by 42 votes and had to walk past my porch, now lined with mums and a sign that said "Welcome, still here." My older neighbor just smiled. One cool evening, I sat under my string lights, watched a viral clip of that meeting, and smiled at the comments cheering us on. Please follow for more HOA showdowns like this. Do you think she got what she deserves? Comment below.